On the plane back to get a divorce, Su Qingxue and I both died. Before the plane crashed, she said, if I could do it all over again, I would marry Li Ziyu. Only when I'm with him do I feel that life is vibrant. Opening my eyes again, I was back to the day I proposed to her. She threw down the flowers in her hand, turned, and ran towards Li Ziyu in the crowd, hugging him tightly. Li Ziyu, I will marry you. I knew she had been reborn too. As she wished, I let them be. But later, she regretted it and knelt down, begging me to change my mind. Li Ziyu, in disbelief, hugged her tightly, nodding repeatedly, tears of joy falling. The two embraced tightly. The oblivious onlookers cheered and congratulated them. But some were confused, saying, isn't Lin Chen supposed to propose to Su Qingxue today? How did it become Li Ziyu? Yeah, wasn't Su Qingxue dating Lin Chen? Lin Chen was supposed to propose today, and he even asked us to come and support him. What's going on? Did he get rejected on the spot? Hijacked? It looks like it. TSK. Lin Chen played the devoted fool for years and still got rejected. How embarrassing. The two hugged tightly for a long time. Su Qingxue turned around and took the microphone. Thank you all for witnessing our love today. I didn't know my true feelings before, but now I do. I've always loved Li Ziyu. I missed him before, but I don't want to miss him again in the future. I'm willing to spend the rest of my life with him, hand in hand until we grow old. Then she looked at me calmly. A forced relationship won't be happy. Our past was a mistake. I hope we can part amicably. Lin, please don't pester me. The ringing in my ears from the explosion gradually faded. I was reborn to the day I was going to propose to Su Qingxue in my previous life. Looking at Su Qingxue in front of me, and recalling her words in the last moments of our previous life, that if she could do it all over again, she would choose Li Ziyu, I knew she had also been reborn. Her eyes were exactly like they were when she was 38 in our previous life, calm and rational. Years of making decisions in the business world had made her mature and steady. But at this moment, we had just graduated from university, and Su Qingxue and I had been dating for 4 years. We had once said we would get married after graduating from university, stepping into the next phase of life. So I chose Valentine's Day, informed all our acquaintances, classmates, and friends, and set up a huge flower display on the sports field at night to propose to her. Actually, Li Ziyu was also a reason for this proposal. Li Ziyu was a year ahead of us, the lead singer of a band, sunny, handsome, flamboyant, and unrestrained. He fell in love with Su Qingxue at first sight at the welcome party and repeatedly showed his affection for her, sending breakfast, gifts, and deliberately creating opportunities for them to be alone during student council work. Even though he knew about my existence, he would say, anyway, you're not married yet. Life should be bold. When you meet someone you like, you should actively pursue them. How do you know who the right person is if you don't try? Su Qingxue always treated him coldly, but Li Ziyu still smiled brightly and stuck to her side. Su Qingxue was annoyed, so she hinted to me to propose to her, to make Li Ziyu see that she was going to marry me and that she would never like him. In my previous life, when I proposed to Su Qingxue, Li Ziyu stood at the front of the crowd, wearing a suit and tie, holding a bouquet of roses, passionate and flamboyant, shouting to Su Qingxue, think carefully. If you really accept his proposal, we really won't be able to be together in the future. I'm asking you one last time, do you want to be with me or not? In the previous life, Su Qingxue said firmly, the only husband I will ever have in this life is Lin Chen. I only love Lin Chen. I hope you will stop pestering me. But now, she said that our relationship was a mistake and asked me not to pester her. Facing the onlookers' curious gazes, I looked calmly at their tightly clasped hands. Of course, from this moment on, we are breaking up. From now on, we go our separate ways, with no further connection. Hearing my words, Su Qingxue breathed a sigh of relief. Li Ziyu excitedly spun her around. I knew you would be mine. But you took so long to agree to be with me. You have to make it up to me. All right, what compensation do you want? When I sing, you have to be in the audience listening. Easy, no problem. You went to the mountains to confess and had a romantic date by the sea with Lin Chen. You have to go with me too. Okay, I want you to post on your social media and tell everyone that you love me. No problem. Su Qingxue looked at him dotingly, as if gazing at a lost treasure found again. The crowd applauded and cheered in unison. Kiss, kiss, kiss. My roommates felt indignant on my behalf. Su Qingxue is really going too far. Isn't this cheating in public? She makes it sound so grand, saying she's finally understanding her own heart. What was she doing before? She had to wait until the proposal to break up. Isn't this disgusting? Exactly. She gathered all the classmates here. It was supposed to be a proposal for her, but she broke up with him in front of everyone and seamlessly moved on to the next guy. What a total player. I turned to them and said, "Let's go. Didn't you say there's a bar opening today? Come on, it's my treat." They watched me drink one glass after another with a calm expression. They were worried and advised me to move on, saying there was no need to be sad over such a woman. If you can say goodbye, you can find someone better. I smiled and put my arms around them, saying I was actually happy. Leaving her truly made me happy. Su Qingxue and I were neighbors, childhood sweethearts, and our families were well matched. A marriage alliance between wealthy families was inevitable, and we were automatically paired together by our families. We encouraged and supported each other, promising to start dating when we got into college and to marry after graduation. Everything went according to plan. In our previous life, after marriage, our lives gradually became filled with work, daily chores, and raising children. Our feelings for each other slowly faded. She repeatedly said that life was lacking in passion, too smooth and uninteresting. At that time, Li Ziyu had become a somewhat famous rock singer. His passionate and unrestrained performances at music festivals often captivated Su Qingxue. She would repeatedly watch even just a video of him. Later, she deliberately found excuses to get close to him. Li Ziyu, at that time, lived a life of instant gratification and was a staunch non-believer in marriage, frequently changing girlfriends. One intentionally approached, the other was carefree and unrestrained. Adult men and women don't need many words, and they engaged in a relationship several times. When I found out, I naturally questioned her, but she said I could also find other women, and we could each do our own thing without interfering with each other. Looking at her in different eyes, no longer having the tenderness and affection she once had for me, and her neglect of our children at home, I was exhausted and proposed a divorce. At first, she didn't agree, as the division of our property would be troublesome. But in the end, she relented under my insistence. She looked at me with a mocking gaze. As expected, being with a carefree person is the most fulfilling. These 2 weeks with Li Ziyu have brought me more joy than my entire life. The unrestrained passion I never had in my youth, I finally have it now. You, raised in a wealthy family, always following the rules, your mind is always rational. Your heart only cares about profit and loss. You will never understand what a passionate and unrestrained life is like. I only felt surprised that I hadn't realized how foolishly naive she was before. She thought she had grasped the true meaning of life, unaware that without a solid material foundation, even the most unrestrained life is like a castle built on shifting sand, easily blown away by the wind. Having drunk too much, I went to the restroom again. On the way, I passed a private room with a door not fully closed, and I happened to hear someone ask, "Su Qingxue, what you did in the field today was really unexpected. I heard you and Lenny Chin were childhood sweethearts. Do you really not like him anymore?" Su Qingxue took a drag from her cigarette and blew out a smoke ring. Childhood sweethearts? It's just because we grew up together and our parents pushed us together that I thought I liked him. It's just the affection of ordinary friends. His personality, to put it nicely, is rational and calm, but to put it bluntly, it's rigid and boring. After a while, it becomes very tiresome. "Then who do you really like?" someone teased. Su Qingxue wrapped her arm around Li Ziyu. Li Ziyu, of course. The hallway was narrow, and someone bumped into me as they passed by. The half-open door was accidentally pushed open by me, and the people inside fell silent as they looked at me. Su Qingxue stubbed out her cigarette in the ashtray and frowned at me. "Didn't we already agree to break up? Are you not going to pester me? What are you doing here now?" Watching her expertly blow smoke rings, I didn't even know when she learned to smoke, but it no longer mattered to me. Li Ziyu immediately gave Su Qingxue a passionate French kiss, wrapping his arm around her neck, staking his claim. "I told you, you never know the ending until the end. Now Qingxue has chosen me. You're not thinking of taking her back, are you?" Su Qingxue patted his shoulder comfortingly. "Don't worry. Even if he begged me, I wouldn't go back to him." I couldn't help but laugh. These two were really a good match, both equally narcissistic. "Don't worry, I'm just passing by. I'm not the kind of person to go back to old flames." The moment I turned to leave, I saw Su Qingxue's face darken for a split second. The feelings that had been worn away long ago in the previous life were now completely gone. Now, seeing them together, I no longer felt any turmoil. As I turned, a soft body collided into my arms. I instinctively grabbed the person's shoulders. The person was wearing a spaghetti-strap dress, and their shoulders were smooth and delicate. I felt like I had been electrocuted and immediately withdrew my hands. Looking down, I saw it was Zhao Wanru, the heiress of the Zhao family from the northern part of the city. She was the same age as me, but had been studying abroad. She had just finished her studies abroad this year and taken over the family business. In the dimly lit bar, She was wearing a red spaghetti strap dress. Her skin was fair, and her beautiful face, combined with the dim lighting, was extremely eye-catching. She was looking up at me, seeming to realize that she was still leaning against my chest. She awkwardly coughed and stepped back apologetically. At this moment, someone in the private room spoke again. Actually, Lin Yi-chin is quite handsome. Su Qingxue, are you sure you're willing to let him go? How many times do I have to say it? I get annoyed just looking at his honest and dull personality. Let me ask a private question. Have you two, done it? Su Qingxue sneered. He's very conservative. He insists on waiting until we're engaged to have a relationship. Boring and rigid. Li Ziyu's dissatisfied voice came through. If you had successfully proposed tonight, wouldn't you have given your first time to him? Hey, don't be angry. It didn't happen, right? To celebrate us being together. How about we go to my place tonight? That's more like it. Your first time can only be mine. Zhao Wanru's lips curled into a smile. Her face, flushed from alcohol, looked at me with endless charm, her voice gentle. I heard you broke up? Are you single now? I nodded indifferently and was about to turn and leave. Zhao Wanru, who had just regained her balance, swayed again and almost fell. I quickly caught her. Are you okay? She leaned against my chest for a while, shook her head, and then threw up with a whoosh. I'm sore. Whoosh. Her dress, my clothes, and pants were all stained. She looked up at me apologetically. I'm sorry, I had a bit too much to drink. I sighed softly. It's okay. Where are your friends? I'll take you to them. She leaned against me and said she came alone. She asked me to take her upstairs to her room because it wasn't a good idea to go back in this condition. I frowned, thinking, she was a girl, it was late, she was drunk, and we had business dealings with the Zhao family. After thinking for a moment, I picked her up in a bridal carry and headed upstairs. At the same time, I stopped a passing waiter, gave him a tip, and asked him to find someone to clean up the mess. Before she went to freshen up, I asked for her clothes and shoe sizes. She looked at me in surprise. I said, you can't wear your dress anymore. I'll order some clothes from a delivery service. She smiled gently and told me her sizes. I quickly wrote them down and placed the order. At this time, my roommate called, saying that the dorm curfew was approaching and it was time to go back. I could only briefly explain the situation and ask them to go back first. I would get a room at the hotel later. Zhao Wanru quickly finished freshening up and came out. I looked at her in a bathrobe, surprised. Even without makeup, her skin was fair and flawless, and her eyes were still strikingly beautiful. Water droplets flowed down her collarbone. I didn't dare to look any longer and hurried into the bathroom. I quickly got ready and came out. The delivery guy had already brought the clothes. I handed her the clothes and said it was very late. She could rest here. She asked me what I would do. I said the dorm was already locked, so I would go downstairs and get another room. She looked at me and said she had just gone downstairs to ask while I was showering, but the hotel was fully booked. I was surprised. How could that be? She smiled and asked, today is Valentine's Day. You didn't know? I suddenly remembered and awkwardly slapped my forehead. I told her to stay here and planned to take a taxi home. But she grabbed my clothes, her eyes wet from the shower, innocent and clear. She looked at me and said softly, it's too late now. This room has a double bed. You can stay here too. She paused and then said, anyway, you don't have a girlfriend, and I don't have a boyfriend. Or are you afraid I'll take advantage of you? I immediately replied, how could I? I'm just worried about your reputation. She smiled why and said jokingly, neither of us is married. What's the big deal? At worst, we can actually become a couple. You're so handsome, it wouldn't be a loss for me. I hesitated as he spoke again. I'm not feeling well today. We were high school classmates after all. Would you keep me company? I'm a bit scared to be alone. Looking at the pleading in her eyes, I couldn't help but soften. Checking my phone, it was indeed very late, and if I went home, my parents would surely ask about the proposal. So we each took a bed. I suddenly remembered that in my previous life, she never married, though she led the company to great success. There were always rumors in our circle that she didn't like men, though no one knew if that was true. With the lights off, one's senses become sharper. I tried to close my eyes, when suddenly I heard some intimate sounds coming through, instantly reminding me that hotels were full on Valentine's Day. Soon, a gentle voice asked softly, are you asleep? No. There was a rustling sound and a soft, full body pressed against mine. I tried to push her away, but she wrapped her legs around my waist and held me. I nervously swallowed. Miss Zhao, are you drunk? She breathed softly in my ear. I'm very clear-headed. I've never had a boyfriend, and I'm still a virgin. Do you want to try with me? My mind exploded. Do you know what you're saying? Her hands caressed my body. I'm very clear. I like you and want to be your girlfriend. Will you accept? My body tensed. I just broke up today. I haven't planned to start a new relationship. Her lips bit my Adam's apple. Then let me cue up. When you're ready to date, come to me first, okay? I really like you. Will you try with me? Having had too much to drink, with the intimate sounds from next door, plus the hands igniting fire on my body, and hearing that tender voice, my body tensed. Are you sure you want to date me? I'm sure. I flipped over to take control, kissing her soothingly. Then let's try. Be my girlfriend, and I'll gradually come to like you. She held my neck tightly and said, okay. A night of passion. The next morning, I looked at the alluring face in my arms. Thinking of her confession, I felt a bit regretful. I might have been impulsive last night, but now that I'm sober, I realize I don't dislike her. I even like her directness and honesty. Seeing her wake up with confusion in her eyes, then remembering last night and immediately hiding her embarrassed face under the covers. Seeing she wasn't angry, I felt relieved. Taking her hand, I asked seriously, Wanru, we were both drinking yesterday, so I want to ask again, were you serious about liking me? She pulled down the covers and looked at me seriously. Of course I was serious. Actually, I've liked you since high school, but you like Su Qingxue, so I never dared confess. When I heard your proposal failed last night, honestly, I was quite happy. I found out you were at the bar, so I came. I was stunned to hear this. I never knew she had been secretly in love with me. She looked at me with both shyness and determination. I like you. Yesterday was my choice. I know you don't like me, and I won't cling to you, don't worry. Seeing the determination in her eyes made my heart race. Though I just confirmed breaking up with Su Qingxue yesterday, adding my previous life where our feelings had long faded, I hadn't felt my heart flutter like this in many years. I said to her solemnly, right now, I might not like you as much as you like me, but you're wonderful and excellent. I believe I'll definitely come to like you more and more. So, would you be my girlfriend and give me this chance? Her eyes sparkled and gradually filled with tears. Yes, I will. She had driven here yesterday. She handed me her car keys, and I asked surprised, you're not driving? She gave me a coquettish glare, her cheeks flushing. It's your fault from last night. My waist is still sore. I hugged her and kissed her lips. I'm sorry. Get in and rest, I'll drive. I asked her, where are you going? I'll take you there. She thought for a moment. It's weekend and I have nothing planned. Could we visit your university? Of course. Being in fourth year, there were no more classes. I was planning to move my dorm things home and start working at the company. Unexpectedly, we ran into Su Qingxue and Li Ziyu right as we arrived at school. I held Wanru's hand, nodded to them, and continued walking. But Su Qingxue blocked our path. Where were you last night? That's my business, Miss Su. You're overstepping. Her face turned a little ugly. Someone saw you go up to a hotel with a woman yesterday. Is that her? I said calmly. Who I'm with is my freedom. If I remember correctly, we broke up yesterday. And this is my girlfriend, Zhao Wanru. Su Qingxue stepped forward to slap me. You went to a hotel with another woman right after we broke up. Are you doing this to spite me? I frowned and blocked her arm. You've misunderstood. I have no feelings for you anymore, and I wouldn't deliberately try to spite you. Being with my girlfriend yesterday was completely out of genuine feelings. Please be mindful of your words in the future and don't say things that might cause misunderstandings for my girlfriend and your boyfriend. After hearing this, Li Ziyu's expression changed. He shook off Su Qingxue's arm. Who he wants to go to a hotel with is his business. Why do you care so much? Could it be that you still have feelings for him? Su Qingxue glared at me fiercely, then pulled his arm and coaxed him. I only cared because we're neighbors. My feelings for you are as clear as day. You're the only one in my heart now. Why else would I have chosen you in front of so many people yesterday? Su Qingxue looked at me disdainfully. Don't get me wrong either. I brought up breaking up yesterday. I was just worried that you might not be able to handle it and would do something rash like finding someone else just to get back at me. As long as that's not the case. I chuckled coldly. Sometimes it's better not to be too narcissistic. You're not the only woman in the world. You've started a new life, and naturally, I'll have a new girlfriend too. Ignoring her furrowed brows, I took Zhao Wanru's hand and walked away. Narcissistic and a hypocrite, just because Li Ziyu had been chasing her for 2 years. Did she think she was irresistible? Zhao Wanru's eyes were sparkling as she looked at me. You said I'm your girlfriend? Seeing myself reflected in her eyes, it seemed she really liked me. I tapped her nose. Yes, I said I would be responsible for you. Besides, you're beautiful, smart, capable, and have a great personality. It's hard not to like you. I kissed the back of her hand. I'm already starting to like you a lot, and I'll like you more and more in the future. She excitedly hugged me. I'm so happy. I've been waiting for this day for so long. I stroked her hair. and the flame of love reignited in my heart. The talk around school about the dramatic proposal on Valentine's Day slowly faded. Su Qingxue and Li Ziyu's popularity gradually increased. He rode his bike with her on the back, enjoying the summer breeze on campus, like the protagonists of a campus romance drama. They kissed on the mountaintop, vowing to love each other forever. They rode a motorcycle on the highway late at night, feeling the thrill of speed. They sang loudly on the beach at night, feeling the freedom of life. They got tattoos of each other's initials on their waists to express their intense love. Li Ziyu had already gained some fans on social media for his singing. In addition, he often posted couple photos, couple videos, and passionate love captions, which attracted a lot of attention. Many people said they were a perfect match, like the main characters in a novel. And Su Qingxue, as she had hoped in her previous life, finally had a passionate, unrestrained, and free-spirited youth. When Su Qingxue posted a photo with Li Ziyu on her social media, both families learned the whole story. My parents were furious. I could only console them, saying it was better to have things out in the open now than to have an affair after getting married. Besides, I have no feelings for Su Qingxue now. They don't need to worry about this. And now I have a new girlfriend. My mother looked at me with relief and nodded. You've always been rational. It's good that you can handle this situation clearly. But who is this new girlfriend? Do I know her? When can I meet her? I said I would ask my girlfriend's opinion. My father pondered. It seems we need to change our partner for the project in the north. I remained silent, because in my previous life, Su Qingxue and I were a couple. Both families prioritized each other in business collaborations. In my previous life, the project in the north was given to the Su family, but I know that the Su family wasn't the most suitable choice. It was just because of my relationship with Su Qingxue that we thought it was better to keep it in the family and strengthen the relationship between our families. But in this life, since we won't become family, it's only about choosing the partner with the most significant benefits. I had been interning at the company during my university years, so I quickly adapted after graduation. Besides daily work, I often attended business banquets to gain experience and build connections. This weekend, I attended an elder's 80th birthday party. After greeting my father and several other elders, I went to a quieter side to rest for a bit. At this time, Su Qingxue's older sister came over with a glass of wine. I didn't expect my sister to break up with you, I said lightly. Our fate just ended. She took a sip of her wine, her eyes appraising. I heard that President Lin's project in the north of the city still hasn't found a partner? I shook my head. I don't know, my father is in charge of this matter. She seemed to understand something and let out a soft laugh. My dear sister really threw away a good hand. She lost the watermelon, and might not even be able to pick up a sesame seed. I remained non-committal. She looked at me with a teasing smile. Speaking of which, I'm only 2 years older than you. If you want a marriage alliance, we can also cooperate. How about it? I politely declined, saying that I already had a girlfriend, and made an excuse that I wanted to be alone for a while to send her away. Just then, a soft and teasing voice came from the side. Our young Master Lin Yichen is quite popular. Looking at Zhao Wanru, who was wearing a strapless dress, with red lips and snow-white skin, my eyes lit up. No matter how popular I am, I'm yours. She took my shoulder and said with a smile, good awareness, boyfriend. I held her hand tightly. Her skin was fair, and her peach blossom eyes were shining. She was beautiful and gorgeous, while Su Qingxue was the cold type. Seeing me looking at her, she asked puzzledly, Why are you staring at me? Is there something on my face? I leaned close to her ear. It's because you are too beautiful. I can't take my eyes off you. I find that I like you more and more. Her face instantly turned red, but she still said calmly, Then you have to like me more and more. Okay. She bit her lip and looked at me uneasily. Just now, Su Qingxue's sister said she wanted a marriage alliance with your family. What do you think? I raised my eyebrows and deliberately teased her. Of course I want to marry my girlfriend. Besides, our family doesn't need a marriage alliance. I can still manage the company well. Or are you saying that you only want to be in a relationship with me and don't want to marry me? She stomped her feet anxiously. Of course not. I mean, if you want a marriage alliance, you can also choose me. Our family is no worse than Su Qingxue's. I looked at her seriously. I said I want to marry you because I like you, not because of a marriage alliance for benefits. Wealthy families often use marriage alliances to strengthen the relationship between the two families, cooperate more closely, and help each other promote the development of the family business. But the same goes for prosperity and loss. Interest can make people cooperate, and interest can also make people break up. Besides, I know my own abilities. Even without a marriage alliance, the company can still develop steadily. Zhao Wanru held my hand tightly. I knew it. I didn't like the wrong person. I was about to say something more when a burst of whispers came from afar. I turned my head to look, only to find that Su Qingxue had come. Not only had she come, but she also came with Li Ziyu. The two of them must have just returned from riding their motorcycle. They were still in their motorcycle gear, which was out of place with the suits and dresses of everyone else present. Su Qingxue's father was whispering to her, his expression very angry. Li Ziyu, on the other hand, casually pulled Su Qingxue's arm, looking around. Are you hungry? Didn't you just eat fried noodles? Su Qingxue led Li Ziyu over. It's not like I've ever attended a wealthy family's banquet before. I want to see if the food at a rich person's banquet is better. All right, as you wish. The two were intimate as if no one else was around. Li Ziyu took a piece here, a piece there. He took out his phone and took a selfie. Finally, he took a piece of cake and walked in front of me. You rich people really value rituals. You have to wear dresses and suits to someone's birthday party, pretending to be so proper. Someone nearby couldn't stand it anymore. This is how you dress for a banquet. It shows respect. You, on the other hand, are wearing motorcycle gear. Your hair is all messed up. It's too disrespectful to come here like this. Li Ziyu touched his hair. This is my casual style, the old man whose birthday. It is just now praised us young people for being youthful and energetic, saying that we are sincere and frank. But you guys, don't you get tired of pretending like this every day? As soon as these words came out, the people who heard them looked at him with anger, and along with it, at Su Qingxue. Su Qingxue blocked Li Ziyu behind her, her eyes looking down on them. Ziyu is sincere and straightforward. I hope everyone won't mind, but what he said is right. In her previous life, she sat in a high position, and everyone flattered her. Even if she was cold, no one would say anything. But now, she hadn't even joined the family company yet, and her cold tone immediately drew disapproval from those around her. Someone of the same age asked, Su Qingxue, what do you even like about him? Lin Chen is clearly better in terms of family background, looks, and ability. Suddenly, all eyes were on me. Su Qingxue first frowned at me. Lin Chen is good, but in my eyes, Ziyu is the best. Then she took Li Ziyu's hand and said that what she loved most about him was his frankness and passion, and that she felt relaxed and happy with him. Li Ziyu even boldly gave her a passionate kiss right there, and then. This made everyone around them very uncomfortable. To do such an indecent thing in such a formal setting was truly inappropriate. Someone mocked. Are they acting out a romantic drama? I heard that after the banquet, Su Qingxue's father gave her a big scolding. He told her to break up with Li Ziyu, apologize to me, and make up with me, as I was the only one who could help her career. Su Qingxue refused, and they parted on bad terms. I was relieved. Su Qingxue was already blacklisted in my book, so she should just stay with Li Ziyu. Please don't come back to me, or I'll be too disgusted to sleep. My father finally chose to cooperate with the Zhao family on the North City project, and coincidentally, the Zhao family sent Zhao Wanru to follow up on the project. My father praised Zhao Wanru's workability to the skies. Therefore, when I brought Zhao Wanru home for dinner, my parents were very satisfied with her. We both excelled in our respective companies, kept in touch regularly, and our relationship progressed rapidly. After 2 years of dating, I arranged a grand proposal scene, invited relatives and friends from both sides, and proposed to Zhao Wanru. She accepted with tears in her eyes, and we embraced happily. During these 2 years, Su Qingxue and Li Ziyu continued to live a carefree life. They got married half a year after they started dating and even live-streamed their wedding on social media. Li Ziyu, who was a non-believer in marriage in the previous life, married Su Qingxue, and Su Qingxue, as she said in the previous life, married the passionate and flamboyant Li Ziyu. We had different pursuits and lived the life we wanted. I thought that was the end. However, life is like a collection of mistakes, and there will always be someone who overturns everything they have done before. Su Qingxue had already started working in the company, and Li Ziyu became a rock singer. I heard from friends that they broke up and got back together several times. As their fan base grew, coupled with Su Qingxue's status, their relationship often made headlines. But recently, news of their breakup has been persistent. Someone captured a picture of Su Qingxue and Li Ziyu arguing. Another person released a video of Li Ziyu dancing intimately with other women in a bar. I just treated it as gossip and moved on to focus on my work and wedding preparations. One day after work, Zhao Wanru was holding my hand and walking me out when an unexpected number called. I answered the phone and heard the person on the other end tell me to look to the side. Su Qingxue was standing there, holding her phone and looking at me. Zhao Wanru tightened her grip on my hand, and I patted her hand reassuringly. Wait for me, it should be work-related. I'll be back soon. We were in the same circle and had met Su Qingxue a few times, mostly at work. She kissed my forehead as if to assert her ownership, and I couldn't help but smile. Only when I walked up to Su Qingxue did I smell the strong scent of smoke on her. I looked at her indifferently. Miss Su, it's better to contact me during working hours for work-related matters. She curled her lips and looked at me. How have you been lately? I raised an eyebrow. Pretty good. It seemed she wasn't here to talk about work, so I had no reason to stay. I was about to say goodbye and leave. She took out another cigarette and lit it. I haven't been doing too well. I frowned at her. From her outpouring, I learned that since she joined the company after graduation, she had less time to spend with Li Ziyu. But Li Ziyu still went out with friends frequently, having fun and living a free life. Sometimes he would get close to other women, and Su Qingxue would naturally question him, leading to more frequent arguments. Li Ziyu said that Su Qingxue didn't spend time with him, and Su Qingxue said that Li Ziyu didn't understand her burden of supporting the family. Li Ziyu said that one should enjoy life while they can, so why bother making so much money? What's the point of wealth if you can't take it with you? Although Su Qingxue loved a free and passionate life, she wanted a wealthy, passionate, and free life even more. When she was in school, she had family support, but now that she graduated, she had to earn her own living expenses. Moreover, Su Qingxue has an older sister and two younger brothers, two of whom are illegitimate children acknowledged by old Master Su and brought into the Su family. The internal strife is also fierce. Su Qingxue is mediocre in ability. In the previous life, she had the support of my Lin family, which allowed her to control most of the power in the group. This time, without my help, even with the memories of her previous life, her situation is not good. She smiled mockingly. I was just so frustrated and wanted to talk to someone. I didn't expect to end up here. Do you think I'm a failure now? I said lightly. Everyone has their own life and path they want to take. Since you chose this path, whether it's a success or failure depends on how you see it. How you are now has nothing to do with me. I have a fiancé now. Next time you want someone to talk to, you should find someone else. Su Qingxue stared at me blankly. She wanted to say something, but I interrupted her. My fiancé is still waiting for me. I'm leaving now. Goodbye. A month before our wedding, news broke online of Li Ziyu getting drunk and going to a hotel room with someone. The time and place were clear, and netizens were all eating up the gossip. Su Qingxue was blocked by reporters at the entrance of the Su Corporation. She looked very haggard. The reporters' questions were increasingly sharp. In the live broadcast, she slammed down a reporter's microphone and pushed through the crowd to leave. I briefly skimmed through this news and continued to read the newly released policy news. My phone rang. I looked at the protagonist from the live broadcast just now, frowned, and answered. The breathing on the other end was heavy. Yichen, I regret it. Can we get back together? Su Qingxue, there's no more feeling between us. Don't say such things anymore. But in the last life, I was your wife. We are the ones who should be together. My heart skipped a beat. Her tone was very off. I don't understand what you're saying. If it's not a work-related issue, don't call me anymore. After hanging up, I felt uneasy. The next day, when I tried to contact Wanru as usual, her phone was always unreachable. Later, I received a call from Su Qingxue saying that Zhao Wanru was with her, and she gave me an address. On the rooftop of the school, Wanru was being held by Su Qingxue at the edge of the roof, a cloth stuffed in her mouth, shaking her head at me, telling me to leave. I looked at Su Qingxue, my voice filled with uncontrollable anger. Su Qingxue, what are you doing? This is kidnapping, do you know that? Su Qingxue stared at me, then suddenly knelt down, her voice gentle. Yichen, I know I was wrong. You are the one who is most suitable for me. Li Ziyu is only suitable for dating. You are the one for me. Let's start over, okay? I made a plan in my mind. That's possible, but let Wanru go first. She glanced at me, then smiled somewhat crazily. You're lying. If I let her go, you won't be with me, right? She stood up, continuing to smile nonchalantly. It doesn't matter if you don't agree. Yichen, do you know about past and present lives? In the previous life, we were husband and wife. We lived very happily, had both sons and daughters, and were the envy of everyone. Everything in this life is a mistake. Now, I want to reset everything back to the original. My heart skipped a beat. What did she mean? Su Qingxue looked at her watch and said there were still 30 minutes before they could start over. I looked at the time on my phone and suddenly remembered that the plane crash in the previous life was 30 minutes away. I looked at Su Qingxue in horror. You're crazy, Su Qingxue. You already chose the life you wanted. If it's not going well, do you want to risk your life to be reborn? Do you know? When I was reborn, it was exactly when you were proposing to me. If it had been successful, we would be married now. We would be very happy. I smiled coldly. Would we really be happy? If we were really together smoothly, you would probably be thinking about Li Ziyu again, wouldn't you? Her eyes were a bit crazy, but this time it won't happen. This time we will go back to the beginning together, start over. This time, I promise I will spend the rest of my life with you. I calmed down, first using myself to swap with Wanru. Su Qingxue threw a syringe on the ground and told me to inject it into my body. She said it would only make me weak, otherwise, she wouldn't be as strong as me. I took a deep breath and directly injected the syringe into my body. I slowly walked towards her. I don't know what kind of medicine is in this, but my body gradually felt weak. Only then did Su Qingxue push Wanru away and hold my hand. Her eyes gentle, but with a hint of madness. There are 10 minutes left. If we jump together, we can start over. The police hidden behind the door rushed out and helped Wanru untie the ropes. At this moment, Li Ziyu rushed out. Su Qingxue, I knew you still had feelings for Lenny Chen. What? Are you trying to die for love now, or what? Su Qingxue glanced at Li Ziyu and sneered. Looking back now, the days I spent with you seemed happy, but they were actually quite boring. It was nothing but drinking and clubbing, meaningless. Li Ziyu also sneered. Then why didn't you break up? Now you say it's meaningless. Weren't you the one who played the hardest back then? Now that you're tired of it, you say it's meaningless. I really regret marrying you. If I could do it over, I would stay far away from you. Su Qingxue nodded. That's well said. I just want to start over. She glanced at the time and muttered, time's up. My heart skipped a beat. Su Qingxue. Even if I could start over, I would never choose you. She laughed loudly. That's not up to you. With that, she pushed me down and she jumped down after me. Fortunately, before coming, I had already called the police. The police had used a drone to survey the situation on the rooftop and placed a safety airbag below, along with an ambulance. We fell onto the safety airbag. Su Qingxue cursed madly. You bastards, who told you to save me? Why did you save me? I stayed in the hospital for half a month. Fortunately, the drug in the syringe was not very harmful. Su Qingxue was diagnosed with a mental disorder by the doctor and was sent to a mental hospital for treatment by her family. Li Ziyu kept going to the Su family's house, making a scene and demanding a divorce. Finally, the Su family intervened and dissolved their marriage. Half a month later, my wedding with Zhao Wanru took place as scheduled. Later, we had 2 children, one with her surname and one with mine. We walked hand in hand, year after year. Those who give their hearts sincerely receive a sincere return. The end.